Hi everyone, this is a fairly quick review of how to review and assess a particular assignment for our participating teachers, which will be FACT Self-Assessment Standards 5 and 6. So right now you can see I'm sitting on where it says Year 2 Induction in the Dropbox, and here are the assignments throughout the course of this year. And one of the things you'll notice, which can clue us in right away, is that this particular assignment we're talking about is right here. I don't want to click on it yet. It's in between FACT Module C and the Inquiry and Action Plan. So what that means right off the bat is that the teachers have completed one of their inquiries for this year. They then visit their FACT self-assessments because after their inquiry and period of time teaching, we're hoping that they've moved their practice forward in some ways, and so we want them to revisit these particular standards. Then, hopefully, after that review and discussion with their support provider, they're going to make a plan for their next inquiry. So it's very purposeful as to where this falls. So let's go ahead and click on 2-5. And so one of the things I wanted to point out, if you're sort of new surfing around haiku in this way, is obviously the participating teachers' names come up alphabetically by last name. This is a perfect example. So if I've gone into review, notice this is saying to me that for me, Angelica Alvarado has contributed something new. She submitted something. It shows one is handed in, I haven't replied to it, but it's got an X. X meaning it's complete. So what haiku does is until I handle that document, it is new to me. So what I want to do is go through, even though it says it's new, it's been graded. I'm not going to look at that. In order to open it up and get rid of this little bolded one new, I would have to open up the entire document. So I'm going to be here all day opening things that are already graded. So I'm going to go down to the first one, which is this particular teacher. She's handed it in. There's no grade yet. There's no comment. That's the first one I'm going to tackle. We're not going to be grading Priscilla's, but I'm going to open it as an example for those of you that maybe haven't come into this particular page too many times. So this is Priscilla. She has one submission. That's typical for some of our assignments or induction requirements. There's more than one submission, but this shows me that Priscilla submitted it on January 28th. There are two ways I can get to this document. I'm going to go ahead and click on it here because this is going to be my preferred way. This is going to open up in a way that I can annotate it. I'm going to enlarge it here so I can actually read it. I can annotate this right on the screen. If I have trouble, I'll show you. I can go back and download it. When you get ready to make comments or to sign off or whatever you want to do, the comments that we use most frequently are highlights and text. Highlight, you can make any color you want. Text, you can make any color you want. I typically make it something other than black so that it stands out. I want the PTs to be able to see anything that I'm looking at. So when you use this text box, you click on text, you select your color. I'm going to select blue. Pretend I've already looked at this. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to click and you see a box, and here are my initials after I've reviewed saying, oh, this is fine, this is acceptable, this meets the standards for what we're looking for. If I can type my own initials. So I've reviewed, this is fine. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to put my name. Hopefully if you can type that as well. And the date. I'm making one up, 3/30/14. Now, I don't want this to go in, obviously, so I'm going to get rid of all these. Sorry. Okay, I took out all my initials because I haven't really reviewed this. I'm going to want to hand this back to the student. Priscilla is going to need to be able to find this fact verification form and to see everything I've either commented on or that I've signed it. So she can see it once I hand it back. I don't have to click Mark as Reviewed and Hand Back. So I'm going to hand that back. I'm going to pretend like I am, and I'm going to go back to submissions. So here we are, we're pretending like I've already graded this. And what we're going to do, move down here, just it won't let me. Okay, so what I'm going to do with Priscilla is I'm going to write a message. Now, I cannot tell a lie. I have in a Word document, I have different standard replies. I do customize each one, but rather than retyping the basic 3 or 4 sentences, I have something there that I can copy and paste, and then I do customize it for each person. I put in their name specifically, so I might have, "Hi, Priscilla." I want to make sure that this person knows I know who I reviewed and that I'm speaking directly to them. I'm going to type my response. Okay, I paused the recording because what I did was I went over and picked up some of the responses that I have saved in Word documents. And I want to show you, if you're not familiar, how you copy and paste. So I'm going to copy this and close it out. I'm going to go to Haiku. In order to be able to paste, this won't let me paste it directly, at least in my program. So what I have to do is Control V, and it pastes it. So normally I'm going to do what I really would do. I'm going to go, "Hi, Priscilla. Your responses are clear and to the point of the prompt, and you have included both strengths and challenges. I have signed off on your fact verification and handed it back to you. Thanks for your work." I might add something in here about a specific standard, one sentence. Thank you for being so reflective regarding your responses to Standard 5 or Standard 6. I want to let the person know I've read it, that I recognize that they've included both strengths and challenges. Then I'm going to send, which I'm not going to do right now, of course, because I haven't looked at this particular one yet. So I'm going to pretend like I've sent that back to Priscilla. So here's that first page. If I had sent her a message, it would show up right here, and it would say Elisa Casella, and you'd be able to see the text of the message. I can go over here, and this is where I'm going to put my X. You want to click away from the X and make sure it's saved. Now I'm going to also put a comment. I'm going to put today's date, whatever it is. Now, if I've written only 2 or 3 sentences in a message, I might copy and paste exactly the same thing here. But this is intended to be a little bit shorter, so sometimes I just have, "Hi, Priscilla. Please see the message left in this Dropbox, EJC." So that tells Priscilla this has been reviewed, the grade is an X, there's more information in an actual message in the Dropbox. I also, particularly on these, I often have one that I copy and paste, because if I'm going to do that 20 times, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're doing many, many of them, it is. Notice here for Priscilla, it took off one new. I'm going to have to remember to go back to that. And it's got her grade as an X. We want to take that off so that somebody else coming along will see that it's new and they need to review it. Okay, that's the nuts and bolts of getting into the assignment and how to take a look at it, put in a grade, put in comments. This is an actual one. This is not Priscilla's that has been uploaded. And so you see I've taken the names off. The first piece is the fact verification form. This is the summary sheet. So what that means is, suppose that Tammy reviewed this and she said, you know, this is really terrific, but a couple of pieces need to be resubmitted. Suppose I go in to check on the resubmission. I'm going to see her message, and it may or may not have anything that tells me where to look. Then I'm going to come here to fact verification. I'm going to see what's already been accepted, what needs to be resubmitted. So this way I can go straight into whatever it was that the participating teacher needed to revisit. So notice over here, here is the title of the standard. Here are the expectations. That's exactly where I'm going to start.